Fine. France finds itself with too much of a good thing.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with John Siegenthaler. Substituting tonight, Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. It was the first front in America's declared war on terror, and tonight, almost 5 years later, American troops are still waging fierce battles far from view in the remote valleys and rugged mountains of Afghanistan. Tonight, though, we have a rare up-close view from the front lines of this often forgotten battleground. An enemy ambush last night that left several U.S. troops injured. NBC's Jim Masada was traveling with the soldiers when the attack happened. American troops who tonight are breaking new ground in this long war in a place where the Taliban maintains a firm grip on both the land and the people.
5 more U.S. soldiers wounded in a Taliban attack late last night. Images rarely seen by American viewers and caught on tape only because we were embedded with the unit that was hit. The 2-4 Infantry, part of the 10th Mountain Division, on a front line as remote as any in this war. Their mission is to root out Taliban and al-Qaeda operatives in Zabul province, the birthplace of the Taliban, in areas where U.S. forces have never gone before.
The whole thing that I'm learning about here, it's all about presence.
Lieutenant Colonel Frank Sturek, a West Point grad, commands almost 1,000 men on unforgiving terrain. Still, Operation Mountain Thrust, he tells me, is moving forward.
What we're doing is putting permanent presence in remote areas and kind of moving the bubble out of the influence of government.
But he admits the thrust, at least here, is measured. Only 10 Taliban killed, about a dozen captured, and no big fish since the offensive began about a month ago. He's frustrated, he says, by the increasing numbers of Taliban fighters with money and weapons infiltrating from neighboring Pakistan.
I know that there are Taliban that are here.
The hardest battle, winning hearts and minds in a Taliban stronghold. In an information war, U.S. forces are handing out AM radios that get pro-government stations to these village elders so that Afghans have something besides Taliban propaganda to listen to. Or to see. Perhaps the most popular DVDs these days praise the Taliban's self-proclaimed commander in the south, Mullah Dadullah Aklund. A legendary Afghan fighter who lost a leg in the Civil War of the 1990s, Dadullah is seen leading his men against the U.S. invaders or recruiting suicide bombers. U.S. commanders tell us Dadullah has little pull here in Zabul province, where local Taliban hold sway.
Quit the fight against a government that wants to give you education, peace, prosperity, and unity.
But after the speeches, it was Lieutenant Colonel Sturek's unit, those 5 soldiers attacked last night, that were ambushed on their way back to base. A reminder of how long this battle will last. Jim Masada, NBC News, with U.S. forces in southern Afghanistan.
Now to Iraq, where a brief respite from American military casualties has ended. 3 service members attached to the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force were killed today in fighting in Iraq's Anbar province. They are the first U.S. military deaths reported since Tuesday. Still, the rate of American war casualties so far this month is down sharply from previous months. Meantime, the military's first report into the alleged murders of Iraqi civilians